Hey guys, Nugi here, and today's video, resist. A lot of you might think, that's an easy subject, and it is comparatively to some of the other things I've been talking about. This is way easier to understand. However, I do want to just briefly go over it so that if you are not completely familiar with how resists work and why it's good, that you do get some knowledge about it. So, resist is one of the two main ways of protecting yourself. It is the protection against elemental spells through mitigation, where armor is versus physical attacks, and that's a little bit more complicated to understand. Resist is versus all the elemental attacks. And there's also something called a chaos resist, which is particularly against chaos damage. So there's all the fire, lightning, cold, elemental, and then there's the chaos, and these kind of differentiate from each other. So first of the eddy resists, when you start on normal, you're not required to have kept resistances. However, for anyone who's played, you will note that as you get more and more resist, all these cold spells, the lightning, will not one-shot you, and will get progressively, you're gonna feel progressively better as you get more of the resist. Why is that? Why is it when you go against Merville with 0 or 25, why does that feel kind of bad compared to when you go against her with 50? Let's look at resist this way. Let's say you take 100 damage, you have 25 resist. This 25 resist is going to take away 25 of the damage, leaving you 75. That's all good. Let's say you now get 50. That's taking another 25 from that. The difference here is that from 0 to 25, you remove 25% of the damage. From when you already have the 25 to 50, the damage you would have taken is only 75, and then you remove 25 of that, that's a third. So the next 25 will give you 33% more damage mitigation against the same attack. If you then add another 25 to 75, we're now down to a quarter of the total damage taken. But comparatively, from the 0 to 25, where it's 25% extra damage reduction, going from 50 to 75 is cutting the 50 in half to 25. So you can see now you're only taking 25 total damage. So every single point you gets exponentially better. I think that's how you say it. That's how it works. To the point where if you got 100 resist, the last 25 number-wise versus the first 25 are the same. But if you can manage to get to 100, you're immune. You take 0 damage. That's pretty crazy. And for every single point of resist you get after that 75, it gets better at 76, then it gets even better at 77, 78. From 99 to 100, as you can see, like the difference, from 98 to 99 is cutting the damage in half by 1 resist point. That is crazy, isn't it? I think so. This is also why some of these resists are particularly good. Purity of elements is nice if you want to cap them at 75, but when purity of fire, ice, and lightning become really strong is that they increase the cap, so you can get more than the 75. And this is really important. This is also why, when you look at the damage mod on a map, for instance, if you see 100 extra percent damage taken as lightning, you might fear this a lot. Depending on the monster, this could be potentially more dangerous than minus resist, but remember this: if you have 100% physical damage, and that you get 100% of that gets converted to lightning, then that lightning damage is going to be mitigated by the 75%. So you're only taking the 25% of the physical damage as lightning. That's 25% extra damage as that element. If you then fight a lightning monster, or any element monster, and you go on minus max, let's say we go all the way to 25, that's cutting your resistance down from 75 to 50. That increases all elemental damage by double. So you're taking twice the amount, literally. Compared to the added to the fizz, which is only 75 or 25%. So it's 4 times as much. This is why minus max is so dangerous, because it can potentially double the damage you take. This is also why having extra max resist is very good, because the higher you can keep your max resist, the better, because when you do get these curses on you, you get the minus max, you're still at the high end of the spectrum, so you're not really taking twice as much damage as the game would normally expect you to do. The thing is, the game is balanced around having max resist, so going down to the 50 is very dangerous. This is also why not having cat resist even at the start of Cruel can be potentially deadly to you, especially if you're on hardcore. Regarding chaos resist, this is something, chaos damage is something that is very steady. It doesn't come in spikes, so you can deal with low chaos resist for the most part. There are some builds that you will already know, low life builds and stuff like that will suffer more, but in general, chaos resist comes in easy to handle packages. It is either poison damage over time or very consistent damage done to you. So chaos damage you can have lower, and it's balanced around having that, I don't know, minus 60 to 0. It's not balanced around having max chaos res. So I hope you guys learned something today about resist and why getting plus max resist and why minus max resist is so dangerous. You can get it through flasks, you can get it through the skill tree, and you can get it through auras, and they're all really good. You can sit down and do some math yourself, and you will find out how important they are. So until next time, guys, have a good one.